How's it going, friends? Today we're taking a look at the new Inductrix FPV quadcopter. Everybody's been doing tiny whoops these days, and so it's no surprise that Blade finally got in on the act. So we're going to unbox this thing, check it out, and fly it around in the store. And everything in the box right there. And this one comes with the single cell 200 milliamp battery pack 45C. And I'm also going to be using these little 205 milliamp single cell My LiPo packs. Also comes with a little USB charger and a nice little pile of paper with this one. And of course you've got the instructions with everything labeled and detailed, both for the bind and fly and for the ready to fly version. Alright guys, check out this little quadcopter. Lots of yellow on it, and no doubt it's an Inductrix with the camera, and it's got the little protective shell. You can switch the video channels with this little button on the top, and you've got your 25 milliwatt camera transmitter. Now it does not look like the camera is tiltable, it's fixed looking straight ahead. So most people that fly the tiny whoops tilt the camera upwards. This one looks like it's straight. And of course you've noticed you've got the little whip antenna. So that's kind of a trade-off. Most people will use the cloverleaf antenna. This antenna is going to be a little more durable than a cloverleaf and perhaps a little bit lighter, but the trade-off is you may not have quite the same video quality and range as the cloverleaf. So that's just a trade-off. They went with that one. Nice little plastic shell. Everything looks like it's going to be fairly well protected. And this one has upgraded motors compared to the regular Inductrix. These are 14,300 kV motors, so a little bit more powerful, and you do have that larger battery. One thing that really makes the Inductrix good for FPV is the props are protected by these shrouds, so you can bounce this thing around inside and just keep flying. You're not going to damage it too much. This is kind of a little FPV tank. Now they've also upgraded the flight controller so that it is better suited for FPV. So the idea with the new board settings is that in full throttle, you're going to be able to just keep going. It's not going to flatten out on you. So we'll see how that goes when we fly it. And right here in the instructions is the guide for setting up the bind and fly version. So what you want to do, guys, is go down to System Setup, hit yes, then go down to Channel Assign, and then go over to Next, and then go over to number 6, channel 6, aux 1. I've already got it set there, but you want to just scroll through, and on the DX18 set it to I, which is the bind button, and now you can switch between flight modes. And so now with the bind button, I can switch between self-level mode and acro mode just by pushing it. And you can see we got some pretty bright LEDs underneath here, white in the front and red in the back. And there we have Chino's Tiny Whoop next to the Blade version. So the Blade Inductrix comes in at 21 grams without the battery. Chino's Tiny Whoop comes in at 20 grams without the battery. Oops, 19, 20. 20 grams. And your FPV on this will be on the Fat Shark raceband channels. And like I mentioned before, you can just switch channels by pressing the top button right there, real easy. So let's go ahead and get a battery going and start flying this thing around the shop. All right, guys, there's the unboxing and a few flights of the new Inductrix FPV. Very nice little quadcopter, guys. I'm actually pretty impressed with this. Very smooth flight, turns very easily. It's definitely powerful and fast. It's nicely dialed in for FPV, even though the camera straight ahead doesn't seem to be a big problem. And the video signal was holding up even with this little whip antenna. So I'm looking forward to taking this thing outside and flying it around through the trees, through the playground. I would like to get a little more flight time on it. 3 minutes is kind of short, but hopefully as those batteries cycle, we'll get some more flight time out of it and get closer to 4 minutes. Anyway, guys, any questions or comments, please post below, and I will see you next time.